Good morning once again. If all news is local, then surely the same must be said to be true of art. The Knights of Columbus Museum in New Haven is boasting a new exhibit of paintings by Yale alum William Congdon, seen here. We'll have, there he is, I believe that's him in Provincetown. Now the exhibit pairs the artwork with a series of Lenten meditations written in the 1960s by a fellow named Father Joseph Ratzinger, now Pope Benedict XVI. Here to bring it all together for us is the KFC's Peter Sonsky. Thanks for joining us this morning. Now, before we take a look at the art, tell us a little bit about William Congdon, because he's pretty important around these parts.
William Congdon was a native of Providence, Rhode Island. He studied here at Yale, as you said, graduated in 1934, and took up the art of painting. He volunteered in the American Field Service, Jeff, during World War II as an ambulance driver. And obviously what he saw there, especially in the liberation of the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, Nazi concentration camp, had a profound effect on him, and it was seen in his art throughout his lifetime.
Now, how did he, or was there a connection, what was was it a coincidental synergy between this artwork and the Lenten meditations, or did the two know each other?
The two didn't know each other necessarily, but they had a mutual acquaintance. Congdon moved to Italy in the 1950s, and he took up painting there, and an acquaintance of his was also an acquaintance of Cardinal Ratzinger at the time. He was familiar with their work, and he suggested combining the two in a book, and it was done in 1998, and this exhibition more or less reprises the book.
So the exhibition, let's look at some of the work here that is in, I think we have a landscape there, or there's something. Now this, what are we looking at here?
Well, this is Congdon later in life. He died about 14 years ago, 1998, coincidentally about the time that the book was published. He had a conversion to Catholicism in the late 50s, and a profound spiritual expression was found in his work in the early 1960s. So a lot of the artwork that's featured here is artwork of that period. And
I think we have some of the artwork to show. Do we have some that we can put up there? So there's some. So what's this
here? This is a shot of the officers' dining hall at the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, the Nazi concentration camp, and it was a sketch. Now you can see how ornate, how well decorated it is, but outside of this was just emaciated bodies and people who had been treated so poorly, so it was a real contrast, and this actually became, during the rehabilitation of a camp, kind of a hospital ward for many of the people. So again, this had that profound experience. He'd never seen anything like it, and it naturally shook him and carried through in his artistic expression for the rest of his life.
What a contrast between that, inside that beautiful building, and what was going on outside of it. Now, we have the crucifix coming up next here.
This is one of Congdon's crucifixion scenes. He was an abstract expressionist painter. It was a period of art that was very popular at the time he returned from the war, and he actually painted on the Bowery, Jeff, in New York for a short time after returning from the war, before he moved to Italy. And he became one of those painters in that genre of art, and it carried through. So it's been a very popular exhibit here because of the closeness to New York, where he first picked up that type of painting, and also because of his affiliation with Yale University.
Spiritual and modern artwork combination
put together,
and who would think, but it sounds like it's a really interesting thing. And this exhibit goes until mid-September, I understand.
September the 16th.
All right, and we have do we have one more to look at? We have a picture, of course, Father Ratzinger. Of course, you might recognize him as Pope Benedict XVI, but now he is. And yes, and that's what
there he is indeed
now.
at what he looks like today. He'll be 85 very soon. Congdon is celebrating the centennial of his birth this year. The meditations that are part of the show, Jeff, were written in the late 1960s, just after the Second Vatican Council. Father Ratzinger was a theological advisor to a cardinal who was participating in the Second Vatican Council. So he was very much attuned to the teaching of the church at the time, and his meditations are very profound. So we hope people in the area will take some time. It's open today. The museum is open today, believe it or not,
on Easter Sunday,
from 10 to 5, and it's open daily, 10 to 5. So free admission, free parking. Please come and see us.
What do you think people will take away from this?
I think that they'll take away the fact that we have some very profound work, and it's so near at home here in New Haven, something that you might not normally expect. You know, to have an individual who has had such a profound effect on people both here as well as in Europe. Congdon is renowned in both places.
All right, just goes to show that all art is local, even if some of it's around the world and some of it's made here or elsewhere. All right, for more information, you can go to our website, WTNH.com, and just click on the Good Morning Connecticut Weekend section. Erica has weather.